In this episode, I'm going to focus on the mental health effects of rape on people. So I think we should just get to it. Hi, welcome to a brand new episode of Shades of Us, The Rant. I am Ramat. I started a two-part series on the effects of rape on people. In the previous episode, I talked about the physical effects of rape on people. In this episode, I'm going to focus on the mental health effects of rape on people. So I think we should just get to it. To begin with, a recap of what I talked about in the first episode. First, I mentioned that rape is an unlawful sexual activity and it is the absence of consent. I also mentioned that the World Population Review on Sexual Assault said that 1 in 3 women were raped. That's 35% of women globally. And in the United States, 70% of people who were raped by people who knew them. And I said it was not just the United States, it also affected every other country. And then that the 10 highest countries with rape has 3 African countries at the top: South Africa, Lesotho, Botswana. And South Africa has the highest rate of rape in the entire world. So that's what I talked about when I started this series. The video is on the channel, so you can check it out. So now I won't talk about the mental effects of rape. I have to say this, that not everybody feels the same thing, but generally people who have been raped tend to have a sense of shame, where they feel that they are bad, they're wrong, they're dirty, they are permanently flawed because they were raped. Some people have guilt. They wonder how or what they could have done to have made that happen. And for them, it's like, okay, especially if it's someone who was close to them, they wonder, do I protect this person? Do I save this person? Because, they are close to me. Maybe the society may attack them, or they may not believe me, or things like that. They have those kinds of guilt. And then some survivors have denial. They're like, you know what? It wasn't that bad, it only happened once, I'm fine after all. So they look at that and they're like, it wasn't that bad. But the truth is, it was that bad, right? That their boundaries was disrespected, they were not respected, they were treated poorly. And accepting that and knowing that is key in helping people who have survived rape. Some people just minimize it as a coping strategy. They just, oh, it's one of those things. It's almost similar to denials, but this is like, okay, this happened. Yeah, it's not really me. It's just a coping mechanism for many people. And because sexual assault is such a violent act on people's boundaries, it affects a person's perception of their boundaries. For some people, they become extra closed up. They don't let people in, and for others, they're like, whoever comes in, come in, do whatever you feel like, because it feels like the walls that they build subconsciously around themselves has been broken. For many others, it's like the trust is gone, because sexual assault is such a betrayal of trust. So most survivors find it hard to trust other people, and especially people who are close to them. Like if for example, someone who raped them or someone that was close to them, they find it hard trusting other people, because they're like, what if he does this? What if she does this? And then they feel that their safety is completely altered, and they may just feel unsafe all the time. I want to give a personal story as a result of this. I have written and talked about the fact that I was attacked. Once I was walking in Yola, and then I was coming home one night, and then some guy came from behind me, grabbed my breast, and I fell. He was going to jump on me. I don't know the strength I got, but I ran away. Do you know, for the longest time I couldn't walk at night as a result of that. And that was just, it wasn't the only time I had been attacked or assaulted sexually, because there were other times where people had come and had attacked me, and up till now I don't feel safe walking at night. I feel like somebody is going to come get me, somebody is going to come grab me, somebody is going to try to rape me, somebody may rape me. So these are the kind of things I am talking about. Some victims have isolation. They just pull inward. They don't interact with people anymore because they feel unworthy. Like I mentioned, they feel that they are dirty. They go into themselves because of the pain. Some people have amnesia. I have heard of women who, after being raped, they completely blot that event from their brain, that it feels like it never happened. some people dissociate. They're like, they remove themselves. I've heard of some women who have been raped, and it looks like they're walking and floating on air, like they are not in tune with what is happening around them. Like you could be watching a movie with them, and all of a sudden they'll blot out something that is completely unrelated, because they're just no longer in that moment. They have dissociated themselves from that. Some people begin to have anesthesia. So for some people, you think it's a physical thing, but no, it's a mental thing, because they want to remove that memory from their mind, so they seek out numbness. And for many, they seek out numbness in drugs. Some seek out numbness in intense pain. It is weird to say, but it happens, because you begin to see people who are raped or sexually assaulted begin to cut themselves. They begin to refuse to be in that moment, right? There's a numbness that they begin to seek. Survivors can also have body complaints, eating disturbances, anxiety, difficulty concentrating, and physical symptoms related to the areas on their body affected by the assault. So these are some other physical effects that people may get as a result of the mental effect of rape on them. And then survivors become very expressive in some instances. They begin to show anger, sadness. They're always in your face, or they become withdrawn. You never hear anything about them. They never get angry. They seem to be skirtish, afraid around you. They become disoriented. There's always this disbelief they seem to have with everything. Everything you throw out to them doesn't seem good enough. And then there's denial. Almost everything just feels off for them. And in some cases, some people just become very controlled, almost robotic. They are just here, calm, in a way that is eerie, shocking, surprising. Like you begin to wonder what is happening. And then the final thing that survivors of rape face mentally is that they begin to block out thoughts of the assault, but because they are blocking out thoughts of the assault, other things may be blocked out as a result, and so their cognitive function begins to drop. And you're like, they're just there, and sometimes they're having nightmares, and if they come to, they can't seem to understand what the nightmare was about, where it's from. Like lots of thoughts are being blocked out. So like I said, there's so many mental health effects of rape. Some people change their sexuality. Either they become what people call frigid, which I feel is such a horrible thing to say. That is being unwilling to have sex. And then some people become, extra. They want to have sex with any and everyone. Some people self-harm. I have mentioned this. Abuse drugs, abuse different kinds of substances because they're trying to numb the pain. They have thoughts of suicide, and they have mood disorders. They have post-traumatic stress. And then the final part is sometimes this becomes all too much and they take their lives. So sexual assault, like I will always say, is never about the moment. There is a lasting physical effect, and then there is a longer lasting mental health effect on the victim. Many never fully recover from this, and those who do recover may need a whole lot of rehabilitation. They may need a whole lot of work to get there. So rape and all forms of sexual abuse is never just that. It's not something that just happened. So it's why I believe that we must all work together to ensure that we bring an end to this. We must all do it, because it doesn't just lie with survivors. It doesn't just lie with the moment. It doesn't just lie with the thing that happened to them. It is bigger than that, and it's why they need to know that rape will end when rapists stop raping. It has nothing to do with this person who was raped. It's not their fault. If you are one and you have been raped, it's not your fault. Nothing you did cost you to deserve that. It is the rapist who is at fault. we need to just get people to stop raping. There's so many effects on a person, and even if there was no effect, if a person says no, bloody walk away. This drains me whenever I talk about it, so I'm just going to let it end here with the questions that I have for you. Do you know anyone who has been raped? What mental effects did they have on that person? Did you see? And how do you think you as a person could have helped them? So I'd like you to share your views in the comment section, and like I always do, I want to thank all the organizations that are working to ensure that we have all the research and information that we need concerning sexual assault. And I especially want to thank the Washington Coalition of Sexual Assault Programs for their insightful package on the mental health effects of sexual assault. That's about it on Shades of Us, the rant. I want you to watch to the end of the vlog to find out ways to contact us. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday at 3:05 p.m. for new episodes. It's hugs and kisses from Ramat. Bye.